Survival games. Probably the most underrated game the Hive has to offer is, in my opinion, the best place to go if you're just getting into PvP and trying to get better. With RNG being a major factor in this game mode, as well as a basic understanding of each map's layout, I'm going to share with you a few tips to help you get better at survival games and, in general, Hive PvP. Here's how to become a pro at Hive survival games. Before even getting into a game, let's take a look at your game settings. If your game looks like this, you're playing with too high of an FOV and sensitivity. Personally, I use 90 FOV and 15 sensitivity, but you can play around with those two settings until you find a comfortable smooth spot that works for you. Now, let's take a look at hotkeys. I have 3. One for my sword, one for my snowballs, and one to toggle my perspective. To set these up, go into your settings and click the option of controls that you were using. This section will show all your current hotkeys. To change them, just click the one you want to set and then press the button you want to set it to. These few things alone will already help improve your PvP experience. The first thing I do as soon as I'm loaded into a game is I open my inventory and line up my cursor around the feet of my player display. That way, when I open my first chest, I'm right in the middle and can clear it out quickly and get away from mid. Which brings me to my next point. Don't waste time going through every chest at mid hoping to find a few items that people missed. This is how you end up getting spawn cleared by a player who got lucky with RNG in their first chest. Instead, what I like to do is have a planned out route to take before the game even starts depending on the map. Check one chest at mid and bail out before PvP is enabled. Another very important step is to make sure that you have some kind of inventory management. Remember those hotkeys that we set up earlier? Well, they are completely pointless if you don't have the items you want in their respective hotkey slots. I like to have my sword in slot 1 with my webs in slot 9, so I can quickly switch between them without needing a hotkey. However, I still have my food and bow close in slots 2 and 3, and since my snowballs are in slot 8, a hotkey, the remaining slots are reserved for gapples, campfires, and bombs. Ideally, you want to click these items into your inventory directly where you need them. However, that takes some practice, so for now, just get far enough away from mid that you have time to manually move them. At this point, you should be ready to go in and start getting kills and collecting more OP gear. The goal now is to not die and get as much gear as you can while making sure your opponent can't get gear or die before they do. One great way to do this is to know each map's layout and determine the best route to take from mid to make sure you find as many tier 2 chests as possible. Knowing where to find cows is also beneficial because both tier 2 chests and cows give you flares, which provide the most OP gear in the game. Speaking of flares, it surprises me the number of people that still don't know you can shoot these down with 3 arrows. It saves a lot of time, but be careful because people will attack you while you're shooting. Tier 2 chests, cows, and supply crates are the only 3 ways to get the most OP item in the game: snowballs. Why are snowballs so important? Well, they help you do things like this.
Count it up, you know fun, stop talking. Louis V, part of store, y'all watching. It's about that time, yeah, I'm a copy. The way she says the move, I love her accent. Got me some brothers too, we still protected. I got them comments too, the money stacking. This feel like deja vu, I swear this happened.
But it's not all about snowballs either. Let's talk about bombs. These can be used to help you catch up to a player or to keep a player away from you if you're being chased. However, you have to know how to use them. Placing a bomb at your feet does nothing but slow you down. Instead, you want to throw these bombs ahead of the player you are chasing or a couple blocks in front of you if you are being chased. This will make sure that you are not affected by the bomb, but the player it was intended for gets the effect. It can also be a smooth way to get the final blow on an opponent who just keeps running. Webs can also be useful if you need a safe, quick getaway from an overstacked player. However, don't web spam, it's cringy and it makes me baby rage. If you survived long enough to be one of the last 4 players and outlive the deathmatch 1-minute countdown, then congratulations. But it's not over yet. The people joining you may be more geared, just as geared, or under geared. But you should go in with the mindset that they are just as good or better than you are. Before deathmatch starts, pick a direction you want to go. Never walk forward as the player across from you is likely trying to bow you from across the map. Once you step out of the start box, throw a bomb at the player to your left or your right depending on which way you go, and try to get the kill if you think you can. If they outgear you, it might be a better idea to take out a less geared player and let them fight the fourth player. If you need to, use a campfire before going into the last all or nothing battle. The last fight should be a 1v1, and if you have any spare bombs, now is the time to use them. Make sure you avoid any bombs or arrows that they may be shooting your way. When you think you have the upper hand, go in with your sword while avoiding their arrows and try to get those last few hits and end the game. And that's the video. Give a few of these tips a try and let me know if you notice a boost in your PvP performance. Thanks for watching, and if you're not already, consider subscribing and leaving a like on the video. Peace.